Yeah, hi there, and I am Michael Buckoff, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of the lessons at Stealth, the 7-step system to pass the TOEFL IBT. In this video, I will be giving specific speaking feedback to 12 of my students in my online course. Why am I posting this at YouTube and Facebook? I want you guys to see I'm a legit company here. My goal is to help students score 26 points or higher on the speaking. As you watch the video, you will see how I interact with my students. You see, unlike a lot of courses, I can keep my expenses low because I do not meet in real time with my students. We're all on different schedules. I teach people from all over the world, right? So I provide my feedback to them by audio. So my students send me speaking practice tests. I grade them and give them audio feedback the next day, so we don't have to meet in person, and that's how I can keep my course so inexpensive. So if you watch the video for a few minutes, you will see how I download the speaking files. I listen to the students' speaking practice, and then I offer comments and give them a score. If you like that, and you don't want to bust your budget or your wallet, because of paying really expensive tuition, you can join my course by going to onlinetoeflcourse.com. That's it. Okay, so I'm going over to my email here, and wow, I have about 12 speaking practice tests I need to grade right now. Exactly now. The first one is Deena. So now I'm actually going to my sound recorder on my computer, and I'm going to start a recording where I speak specifically to her. So everything that I say right now, I will email those comments to her so she can get those. Yeah, hi there, Deena. This is Michael, and I'm going to listen to your independent speaking practice test. So you're answering the question, in choosing between exercising and eating healthy, which one has greater benefit in helping you to live a longer, healthier life? So I'm going to go ahead and open up your speaking file right now.
Eating healthy food would help me to live longer, since the healthy food would help me to build a strong body. First of all, eating healthy is very important thing we have to consider. For instance, I remembered I read an article before which was about the healthy food, and what I learned is when I eat healthy, I would get enough energy to my body, and I would build a strong immunity system which would help me to defeat many diseases. And when I eat healthy,
Good there. So then maybe develop that a little bit more. Say, for example, if I'm eating a lot of fruits and vegetables, it'll make me less susceptible to getting the common cold.
I would build strong bones and teeth, which would help me to defeat the growing in age. So that's why I think that.
Okay, so what do we have? Let's look at the rubrics now. I think I can score it right now. So overall, you had a few minor pauses and hesitations in there, but your delivery and your intelligibility was relatively high. That's a good thing. And you're varying your intonation, so that's good. Language use, I didn't notice any specific problems there. Topic development, maybe on that first idea, you could probably give a specific example to help illustrate it, and maybe you tried to go in maybe too many directions there, but I like how you focused on the immunity thing, right? That's a good area, and then try to develop that with an example, then move on to your next point. Your score here, I think it's close. I'm going to put you at about 3.1 to 3.3, 24 to 26 points. I think it's possible that you could get a score of 4 on this. If you did not, it might be because of some problems with topic development. So those are my comments on that. All right? So now these comments I will now email directly to this student because she wants to know. She wants to know her score. Okay, let's see what we have. Okay, here we go. Now in the email I send her, I'll also send her a copy of the rubrics, the independent speaking rubrics, so she can understand why she got the score that she did. Okay, I'm ready to go to the next one. So 1 down, 11 more to go. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Hoda. Hope you're having a great day here. So you completed an independent speaking practice test 180. So the question is, you're short of money, but you need to buy some food at the grocery store. Additionally, you're limited to buying either chicken or cow meat. Which food will you buy and why? Use reasons and examples to explain your response. Okay, here we go.
I am limited to buying either chicken or cow meat. I would rather to buy cow meat.
You want to say cow meat. Stress on both of those words, not cow meat, but cow meat. So when you have those compound nouns, you want to put stress on both of the nouns.
To buy cow meat because it is more affordable and healthier. First of all, I think that cow meat is more affordable. For example, in our traditional food, we usually cook a lot of beans with just small pieces of cow meat, which make it affordable and is important, especially in shortage of money. I also think that cow meat is healthier than chicken meat because it usually contains a lot of important nutrients for our body. For example, cow meat is...
It contains a lot of important what? Let's see what you said there.
It contains a lot of important nutrients for our body.
When we say nutrients, if you use nutrition, I would use that more as a uncount noun because it's nutritious, maybe as an adjective, or has a lot of nutrition for us, or it has a lot of nutrients. I would probably in that case say nutrients. That's probably a better word.
For example, cow meat is rich in iron and is important for our body.
It's rich in iron. Let me listen to that one more time.
Cow meat is rich in iron and is important for our body. That's why I think so.
It's rich in iron, I would say, which is important to our body. Probably use that adjective clause there, and that shows you have a little bit more advanced grammar. Okay, what do we have? So I think overall you answered the question and you gave some details, so your topic development was fairly strong. Language use, maybe some minor limitations. For example, maybe using adjective clauses in there. You had some word stress issues with compound nouns. That means a word like cow meat. Cow meat. So you had a little bit of trouble pronouncing that. So if you need to review word stress, you can go, I think it's like pronunciation lessons 25 through 28 in the pronunciation section of my course, Hoda. Your score here, so I think some delivery language use limitations, I'm going to put you at 3.0 out of 4, 23 points out of 30 on this practice test. Okay, now I'm going to email her my comments. And this is kind of how it works. So because on any given day, I can have 10 to 20 speaking practice tests sent to me, right? But instead of meeting individually with each student to tell him or her, of the score, in an hour or two, I can give all these students feedback, right, within that short frame of mind. That's why my course is a lot cheaper than TOEFL tutors, for example. A lot of TOEFL tutors, they'll charge anywhere from $20 to $100 an hour. There's a wide range of costs going on there. Okay, now I'm going to the next one. Let me go ahead and delete some of these practice tests. So the next day after the students send me the speaking files, I delete them. I get rid of them. And I could have them upload them to my website, but then it burdens my server with all these data files, and I got to get rid of them eventually anyway. So I found out it's pretty easy to do it this way. Okay, let's go to the next student here. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Lumira, and I am Michael, the founder, owner, and the materials writer for all of your lessons, and you're doing independent speaking practice test number 4. Number 30. So it says, when a brand new device of modern technology comes out, should you buy it immediately or should you wait before you buy it? So give some reasons to support your opinion. So that's kind of how, and I'm going to go ahead and download your response now. Let's see how you answered this question.
I don't think so. Buy a new cell phone or computer that they just came out. It's a good idea because it's...
Now, having some language use issues there. I would use when. When you're having a time clause, a dependent clause. So when a new device like a cell phone comes out, I should buy or wait before buying this device, right? You see what I'm saying? So the first 13 seconds of your response, you had some problems with your sentence structure. You weren't quite sure of what type of grammar to use there. And I'm suggesting in this case maybe an adverb clause of time, and then you put part of the question or answer part of it in that adverb clause, and then put the main point in the main part of the sentence.
Price, and it's a risk. First, it's a price. Price usually is so much high, and
so much higher, you want to say. But don't just say the price is so much higher. Say, first of all, I would wait before buying a brand new technology device because of the price. Once you say that, then say the price will be much higher if I buy it immediately. At that point, you're forced now to give an example.
Brand new, very expensive. For example, people waiting in a line in the Apple store to get a new iPhone. And second, it's a risk.
But why are you saying people waiting in the line at the Apple store? Why are you saying that? What is the purpose of that example? But if you said this, for example, people who go to the Apple store and buy their iPads and their phones right when they come out will probably be paying about 30 to 50% more for that product than if they had waited a few months before buying it. That's probably what you have to say there, so we know how the iPad or the Apple store, we know how that fits within the greater context of your speaking.
For example, they made up something, and how it was with Samsung, they burned up, which is why I think so it's a good idea to wait.
Okay. So let's take a look. So this one, you're having limitations, right? Limitations with your language use. What could you do, if anything, to improve? You need to get better control over your complex sentences, LS. That means go to the grammar part of my course, study anything that says compound sentences, complex sentences, sentences with multiple clauses, adverb clauses, noun clauses, adjective clauses. You need to get a little bit better control over using those kinds of sentences. Another thing, topic development, you need to make sure the connection of your ideas is clear. And speaking lesson 7 will give you some really good tips on how to do that. Believe it or not, there's another lesson in the writing part of my course I think will help you too. It's called Writing the Perfect Paragraph. It's one of my lessons under the independent writing lessons, if you want to look at that. Again, it's called Writing the Perfect Paragraph. Check out that lesson. That's going to be good for you. Delivery. A lot of trouble. One of the things you can continue to work on is your intonation. I think that's pronunciation lessons 36 through 40. You can definitely get some more instruction on improving your intonation. Now, I don't recommend this in all cases. I'm going to recommend it here. I want you maybe twice a week, I want you to take your speaking practice and write it out. Type it all out on your computer. Make sure the grammar is good, vocabulary is good, it's very organized, you have some details in there, and practice it several times, and then post it, and then send it to me by email. Sometimes if you do that once or twice a week, it helps you pay more attention to your language use and also your delivery and even topic development, and it'll help you improve over time, and pretty soon answering these kinds of speaking practice tests would become a little more automatic for you, because right now you're struggling trying to get the words to put together to answer the questions. Your score here, what is your score? Interesting enough, I'm going to put you in the low 2 area, about 2.1 out of 7 or 2.1 out of 4 or 17 points out of 30 on this practice test. And as you can see, I have students of many abilities in my course. Some of my students are very advanced and others have more basic English proficiency. Either case, they get better with time. They really do. The more they practice, the better they will get. Okay, I'm going to send her a quick email now. Okay, this guy's doing some pronunciation practice. Let me see, this guy has a problem with lesson number 38. Let's see what's going on with that. Yeah, these comments are for Juan, and you completed an independent speaking practice test. It's choose an event that has meaning for you. Explain how it has changed you. All right, here we go, buddy. Good luck.
I chose my degree graduation because after that many things changed in my life. First, I got a job in a college and I started...
Yeah, but wait a minute. Let's go back to the beginning one more time. You got to give me some background here. Part of what you can do here is to restate part of the question. So what did you say again?
I choose.
No, just say an event which has changed me is... Say it like that. Or my graduation is an event which has changed my life because, if you say that, you want to make sure what you're saying connects back to the speaker.
My degree graduation because after that many things changed in my life. First, I got a job in a college and I started to teach chemistry. It was difficult at the beginning, but it allowed me to gain my own money.
Okay.
Because of that, to live alone. It changed my life because.
Now, if you go to the next idea, say, in addition, this event changed me because. So make sure you're using some transition words to help show how your ideas are connected.
I needed to cook my own food and to clean my house
and to clean my house.
My own food and to clean my house.
Remember, when you're using infinitives, you have to plus the base form of the verb, right? And if you have more questions, go to the grammar part of my course. I have a very thorough lesson about gerunds and infinitives. That's something that you want to study a little bit right now to improve your language use.
I think it.
Remember the word think. It's I think, not think, but I think that. So you're having some trouble. I think this is Speak Clearly lesson number 11. It's the mit, meet, pit, peat. You're having trouble with that vowel sound.
It changed me a lot because I am more responsible now.
I wouldn't bring up a third point there, Juan. I would focus maybe in either one or two reasons and then make sure you give specific detail for just those 2 points. That way you have a little bit more depth and progression of thought of your ideas.
More nature.
Okay, so let's take a look. So this one, delivery, your speaking is slow. You're not very fluent, so you have a lot of pauses in there. You're not speaking quite fast enough, so you got to work on that. And there's 3 areas which can help you speak faster. There's 3 different things you want to focus on in the pronunciation part of my course to improve your fluency. You ready? I think sentence rhythm, I think, is going to be important. Also, thought groups and blending, I think, is important. Actually, 2. Those are 2 areas. So if you can improve your sentence rhythm and your thought groups and blending, you will be able to speak a little faster. You also had some language use issues in there, topic development issues. You need to connect your ideas together better and try not to go in. I would focus in these kinds of speaking tasks, maybe 2 reasons, not 3, and then make sure you have very specific detail for those areas. Now, for more information on that, check out my speaking lesson number 7. It has some really good tips on how you can more coherently organize your speaking tasks, and writing for that matter. Your score here, I'm going to put you at 2.1 out of 4, 17 points out of 30 on this practice test. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Ruthie. So you're answering Independent Speaking Practice Test number 34. What does your country's national anthem or flag mean to you? Using details, please explain. This is a very tough question. Wow. I would not want this question. Let's see how you answered it.
Indian flag has a unique meaning to each and every person. Personally, to me, it symbolizes commitment and also reminds me of our armed forces. First of all, whenever I see our...
To remind you of your armed forces.
Armed forces. First of all... commitment and also reminds me of our armed forces.
Okay.
First of all, whenever I see our Indian flag, it symbolizes commitment. A commitment to be of service to the land that has given us one of life's most precious gift, freedom. That freedom gives me the chance to serve my family and friends and to the people who are in need as I serve as the healthcare professional. Second of all, our Indian flag reminds me of our veterans risking their lives and making daily sacrifices.
Gotta go back. Want to listen to what you just said there. Hold on.
As I serve as the healthcare professional. Second of all, our Indian flag reminds me of our veterans risking their lives and making
veterans.
daily sacrifices to secure our freedom and ensure the safety of others. I'm really humbled by their service to this great nation.
Yes, yes, and yes. Wow, that was a good one. Yes on delivery. If you made one change, you still got to work on that intonation a little bit, try to vary your tone more, but still you are completely understandable. I think the word veterans, I wasn't quite sure about. I had to listen to it a couple of times, but your intelligibility was about 99% perfect. Language use, no noticeable problems with either grammar or vocabulary. They're very strong. I didn't feel like you were limited in any way on how you explained your ideas. Topic development, yes again. You had two specific ideas that you wanted to say about the American flag, the commitment thing and the armed forces thing, and you were able to support that with specific detail, and you're using transition words to help show how your ideas are connected. Yes, that is good. That's what I'm looking for. That's going to help you get that 26 or higher. Can you do that on the TOEFL test, please? Just do that. Do what you just did here, and the TOEFL test will be history for you. So your score here, I'm going to put you based on the rubrics, at least 26 points or higher. I think it's very possible that you could get a score of 4 on this. Anybody who doesn't want to give you a score on this has got rocks for brains. All right? Anyway, thank you for completing this TOEFL speaking task. Okay, I'm going to email this student, so I just did that. And we just keep going up the list here. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Shrikant, and I am Michael, and I'm going to listen to your independent speaking practice test number 69. So you're talking about an embarrassing situation that happened to you. And be careful of the because of plus noun phrase. You're overusing that type of grammar. You want to make sure you're showing you have a variety of grammar structures in your speaking and your writing, right? So to help you with that, go to the grammar part of my course. I want you to study the lesson. It's titled Sentence Variety. Okay? Okay, here we go. I'm going to listen to your file now.
Personally, the most embarrassing situation in my life that had happened recently was playing chess with international worldwide players because opposition and ratings. First of all, the playing chess was the most embarrassing situation that happened in my life recently. because of opposition. For example, the opposition's chess player game-ending moves was embarrassing because I felt wonderful when my game moves was dominated by him to become checkmate. Second of all, the playing chess moves are also the most embarrassing situation that...
Let's look at what you have here. So the opposition chess player game-ending moves were embarrassing because I felt wonderful when my game moves were dominated by him to become checkmate. Yeah, you had some trouble explaining that idea there. I would just say the most embarrassing situation to me was when I was defeated by a chess player who was who had less experience or skill than I had. I would say something like that, not how you said it.
Happened recently in my life because of rating, for instance. The international players which I have played games with them was embarrassing because of my game rating became tough to be in the 10 point.
Now wait a minute. The international players with which I'd played games with, when you say them, no, you don't have to say them because you've already said which. So there's no need to use that pronoun at the end of that dependent clause because you already have the relative clause pronoun in the beginning of that clause. So that's unnecessary repetition there. So for that one though, study adjective clauses, learn how to form adjective clauses. I like that. You're using some new grammar in here, which is good. So now you want to try to master that new grammar.
In the website, since I played games continuously for 3 years, therefore the embarrassing situation happened recently for their reasons.
Right, so for the above reasons, so let's take a look here. Your intelligibility not very high, believe it or not, so it's hard for me to understand what you're saying because of some mispronunciations. You're not clearly articulating a lot of the sounds and a lot of the words that you're saying, so keep working a lot in the pronunciation area in my course. Language use. You're starting to use some different grammar structures, but you're still limited, I think, by the grammar you're using. And it's sometimes difficult to understand what you're trying to say. Topic development. You're trying to make things a little more personal, which is good, but you can still improve. Actually, let me look at that one. No, I think your topic development was okay. You had a pretty good organization, whether you had some examples in there, but you're just having some trouble putting together the words to explain your situation. Your score here, I'm going to put you at about 1.83 out of 4, 14 points out of 30 on this particular practice test. Okay, I emailed this student. Then I go to the next one, so I'm making progress. So far, I've graded everything from Tuesday. Now I'm getting into Wednesday, and I have one more that was sent to me today. Let me check my overall email here one more time too, see how we're doing. Okay, I'm sending an email to one of my 306 students here. I got to do that here. Give me a quick second. Okay, let's go to the next one here. Yeah, hi there, Holden. So let's take a look at you wrote me some information here. You say, I still have problem with recording a good response by the first try. I usually have to record it over and over until, you want to say until I have an acceptable response. Also, introduction is one of my concerns in most questions. Repeating reasons and introduction and body takes me too much time, especially for long questions. On the other hand, you say the structure should not be too predictable. Do you think simple introductions may suffer my grade? If yes, how can I manage to say an introduction in a reasonable time? Your introduction should not take more than about 5 to 10 seconds. That's all you need, really. So let's look at your question here. So you're saying that what is the most harmful thing a person can do to his or her health? Why is it so harmful? Give reasons and examples to support your point of view. So you might say because it injures others and can cause lung cancer, smoking is the most harmful thing a person can do. Say, first of all, if someone smokes, it can definitely make them have lung cancer. There's a lot of research out there, blah, blah, blah. And then say, second of all, smoking is also harmful because it affects other people's lives, not just the person doing it. Then you support that and you're done. So with this kind of question, the introduction, it's only, about 5 seconds, right? And that still gives you about 40 seconds to do whatever you want to do with the task. All right, so I think that your question and how you're doing it is, I think you have a good question. So just make sure the intro is not more than about 5 to 8 seconds, and then you have enough time to do everything else. Okay, let's hear what we have.
Because of eating a lot of fatty foods can cause problems for heart and knees. I think it is the worst thing that a person can do with his.
No, you said because of. That's not the right grammar there. Let's go back.
Because of eating a lot of fatty foods can cause.
Because of eating fatty foods can cause. No, you can't use because of and then have a subject and a verb there. What you want there, Hoda, is a subordinator. Get rid of the preposition. Just say because fatty foods can cause blah blah blah.
Problems for heart. Because of eating a lot of fatty foods can cause problems for heart and knees. I think it is the worst thing that.
For heart and what?
Heart and knees. I think it is the worst thing that a person can do with his or her health. First of all, I think that it is harmful for heart. For example, the fat that comes from fatty foods surround the heart of the person and can cause distraction and maybe heart attack. I also think that eating a lot of fatty foods can cause problem for knees. For example, my aunt is overweighted because of eating a lot of fatty foods.
Your aunt is overweight.
Can cause problem for knees. For example, my aunt is overweighted because of eating a lot of fatty foods, and she always complains.
Because of eating, I would say instead of fatty foods, because of eating high fat foods or foods high in fat. So try to rephrase what you're saying so you're not using exactly the same grammar or exactly the same vocabulary throughout your response.
About her knees pain, and she's unable to move easily. That's why I think so.
And you don't need to worry about a conclusion. So my advice there is, if you don't have time for a conclusion, that's okay. As long as you have a short introduction and then you illustrate through your response the ideas in the introduction and you present examples, I think there you'll be in pretty good shape. Okay, so here you had some language use limitations here. You had some problems, for example, because of versus because. And sometimes you probably need a little bit better range of vocabulary. So to help you with that, I think it's vocabulary lesson number 4, 5, and 6. Wow, that's 1,500 college level words just in those 3 lessons. So I would advise you to work hard and diligently at trying to learn about 20 or 30 of those words almost every day. And that's going to help you in the long run with your reading, speaking, writing, listening, and everything, right? Delivery. This is where you work on your speed. You got to get faster, right? So what you want to work on here, it's called thought groups and blending. As you can identify ideas into thought groups, and a thought group usually is about 4 or 5 stressed syllables, and then you blend the ideas within the thought group. That's going to help you speak faster, and you can get more ideas in the 45 seconds. So to learn more about what thought groups are, and to learn about the blending rules within each thought group, you can go to pronunciation lessons 41 through 44. Now, what's also important for you is as you do your pronunciation practice, you can pick pretty much any pronunciation video, doesn't matter what it is, but go to the end of the video and practice reading the paragraphs and the sentences with me out loud, and get used to reading out loud at my same pace. Because my pace is an acceptable pace. It's a little bit faster than what you do, right? So if you can speak a little faster, that's going to be an advantage for you when you're doing the TOEFL speaking. All right? So your score here, I'm going to put you at about 3.0 out of 4, 23 points out of 30 on this particular practice test. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for Deena, and I'm going to listen to your independent speaking practice test. So the question is, which is more difficult, finding a good job or saving money to buy a house? Give reasons and examples to support your point of view. So you say,
I think it's more difficult to find a good job in these days because of the increasing in the competition. First of all, increasing in the competition is an important factor which affects us negatively. For instance, I had a friend who had a bachelor's degree in civil engineering, but since he had graduated, he couldn't find a good job. Because most of the employers, they asked for higher degrees like...
No, wait a minute. Since he graduated, let's go back.
Since he had graduated, he couldn't find a good job.
I would say since he graduated, he has not been able to find a good job. So I think in that case, Deena, when you're using since, it's common to use the present perfect tense in the main part of that sentence. I could say since 1995, I have lived in California or something. So we use that present tense after since plus time, right?
Because most of the employers, they asked for higher degrees like master's or PhD, or they asked for more years experience. And these difficult requirements are not easy to get, especially for fresh graduates like my friends. That's why I think that.
Okay, so you answered the question, I think, fairly specifically, so I think that's good. Let me listen to it one more time, or at least part of it one more time.
I think it's more difficult to find a good job in these days because of the increasing in the competition. First of all, increasing in the competition is
also because of the increase in competition, or because of the increasing competition. I guess you could do it either way. So increasing as an adjective, or because of the increase in competition, using as a noun. So either way it'll work.
Important factor which affects us negatively. For instance, I had a friend who had a bachelor's degree in civil engineering, but since he had graduated, he couldn't find a good job. Because most of the employers, they asked for higher degrees like master's or PhD, or they asked for more years experience. And these difficult requirements are not easy to get.
No, these requirements make him or force him to compete with other people in the job market who maybe have more or less experience or more qualifications than he has. So at this point, you got to show how this relates back to the increasing competition or the increased competition thing. You got to make sure you tie it back to that idea.
Especially for fresh graduates like my friends.
Okay, so I think maybe some IBT human raters, they might think that extended example that you gave, it didn't fully illustrate what you were trying to argue in the beginning, so that might weaken your argument a little bit on that, right? But still, you're comfortable with the language, you're speaking quickly, clearly, not too many problems with your language use. I'm going to put you at about 23 to 24 points out of 30, so you might not get the score 4 because of some problems with topic development. Yeah, hi there. These comments are for JS and I am Michael, so I'm going to listen to your integrated speaking practice test number 6. Here we go.
The lecture on the reading talk about nuclear energy and the risks of using it. The passage defines nuclear energy as a technology that allows...
Gotta get that tone, Juan. We're not at a funeral, buddy. You gotta put some emotion into that thing. Try to vary that intonation more than you're doing, right? This reading passage is about this and it's talking about the nuclear energy and the dangers of nuclear energy. No, can't do that. And part of the difficulty, let's face it, it's not easy to record and control the tone using a microphone. You can't see me directly. You know what I'm saying? So it's hard, but that's exactly how the TOEFL is. You're not going to see the IBT human rater when you do your practice test. You're going to have to use a recording and try to work on that. So intonation, I'd like you to work on pronunciation lessons 36 through 40. You got to control that tone more. All right?
to produce energy, but it could be used as a weapon too. According to the professor, there is...
Yeah, but wait a minute. What's the problem in the reading passage? It's saying that the International Atomic Energy Agency is having difficulty monitoring what countries are doing with the rich uranium that they have. For example, according to the author in the reading passage, are these countries using this enriched uranium for weapons or for energy? And that's difficult to monitor. You see what we're saying? Okay, hold on a quick second. Let me get quick here. Okay, let's continue on.
There kind of risk of using nuclear energy, that is accident. He talked about an explosion.
That's good. So you're explaining how the lecture relates to the information in the reading. Very good.
That occurred many years ago in Russia, in which 30 people died and many others suffered for different medical conditions because the exposure to radiation. Even the radiation reached kilometers from the explosion place, and some people got cancer because of the explosion.
Yeah. Now let me listen to the beginning one more time.
The lecture on the reading talk about nuclear energy and the risks of using it. The passage defines...
A little bit of trouble understanding that, but basically the reading passage discusses the dangers of the nuclear energy, and the speaker in the lecture gives an example to illustrate those dangers. You know, something like that. Okay, what do we have here? So looking at the integrated speaking rubrics here, I think your delivery is just a major problem right now. It's something you really want to work on, including improving your intonation. So that's dragging your score down bigger than anything. I think with the topic development, you didn't completely, I think, explain all of the most important parts in the reading passage, right? So I don't think you had a complete, accurate response. Your score here, I'm going to put you at 2.3 out of 4, 18 points out of 30 on this practice test. Yeah, hi there. These comments are from Mandeep, and I'm going to listen to your independent speaking practice test. So you say, can you please evaluate my speaking for trial before I take your 7-step TOEFL guide? I will wait for your reply. The answer is yes. And here we go right now, buddy. Let's listen to the whole thing one time and see what happens, and I will give you comments a second time.
Hi, as a child, I know that I have visited so many places, but the one place if I talk about, it was a Taj Mahal. It's a great, huge building with 4 monuments surrounded by them. It is a white color. It's changed a color in a daytime, and it turns a reddish color at night time. So I was so mesmerized by that place, and the memory that I can recall was that in the center of the line with the Taj Mahal, it was the water fountains. They were so big.
That's 45 seconds. So what happened here? What happened? So with topic development, the good thing that you've done so far is you described the Taj Mahal. That was a good strategy. You spent a lot of time doing that. However, you didn't give yourself enough time to discuss the second or answer the second part of the task. So part of what you have to do when you're doing TOEFL speaking is make sure that you give yourself enough time to fully develop all of the different speaking tasks. If the speaking task has 2 parts, then spend equal time on both parts.
And with they changed their color as well too at the night time. So that was a really good place, and I really enjoyed my time over there.
All right, so you really didn't